So The Boys Season 3 is finally finished airing, and it was really fucking good. No surprises here, everything I wanted from this season was delivered almost perfectly, except for the ending. I would say that the finale almost ruined this entire season for me. I'm not saying that there weren't any good parts in the finale, and it's not like there weren't any good ideas, but the bad in this finale definitely outweighs the good. And don't take this as me hating the show, I love all 3 seasons of The Boys. In my opinion, The Boys seasons 1 and 2 are what I would consider to be top tier superhero television. Like I said before, I was loving season 3. Hell, I was ready to call it their best season yet. Until the finale aired. I wouldn't say that this season is bad because of this, but it definitely lowered my score on it significantly. But why does the finale suck? Well, strap in, because I'm gonna go over all the problems that were present in this episode. It goes without saying that there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched season 3 or the show, now's your chance to catch up. So pause the video right here, come back at any time. I guess I'll try to focus my attention first on Black Noir. This character is probably one of the most intriguing characters in the entire show, basically building him up to be this unknown figure shrouded in mystery, and in season 3 he got a lot of development, and that made me even more invested in his character. But then episode 7 happens, and this is where they build up upon Black Noir's motivations for the finale, which is killing Soldier Boy and getting his revenge. So what happens in the finale? Well, instead of following through with the arc and motivations that Black Noir had, they just kill him off. Not even by Soldier Boy, which would have been so cool, like if Black Noir delivered the final blow to Soldier Boy and died in the process. Then his arc would have come full circle, but here Homelander just kills him. It wasn't even very shocking, it was just the exact same emotion I felt when, spoilers for Ozark Season 4 by the way, when Ruth died. I felt nothing when both characters died, and when they did die I was like, oh, that's it? I'm sure they'll bring him back for season 4, but the fact that they build up this character for the whole season just to get him killed in an anticlimactic fashion was just lazy writing. But don't even get me started on the man and the myth himself. Soldier Boy is probably one of the most interesting characters this season. Seeing him find out that Homelander was his son was such an interesting twist, if not overdone, but it was played in a very interesting way that could be set up for future plot lines, only for it to be wasted. Nothing interesting is done with it in the finale, and you can remove the twist entirely and nothing would change, except for like 2 minor things. I thought this would be an interesting scenario, since it would make Soldier Boy come to terms with a tough decision, but no, he still fulfills his side of the bargain with no interesting moral dilemma. Not to mention that this guy has gone betrayed fucking twice. Not once, but twice, which would have been interesting if done right, a sort of poetic irony type of situation, but the way it happens is in the most contrived way possible. What happens is that Soldier Boy is ready to charge up his cream pie blast, however Ryan is behind Homelander. When this happens, remember this detail, Butcher then betrays Soldier Boy because of why? Let's have a look at the times when Soldier Boy uses his blasts. In episode 4, Soldier Boy blasts Kimiko. Kimiko, having powers, survives the blast, but is injured by the falling debris. In episode 5, he destroys a whole city-wide block from his blast, but since no one had V in their systems, they were all killed. However, you could make the argument that he kills Crimson Countess, but in Herogasm when the TNT twins were killed, only they are killed and the rest either had their powers removed or the debris killed the people from Soldier Boy's blast. Now, this could account for 2 things. 1, that Soldier Boy's powers are extremely inconsistent, or 2, the more likely option, Soldier Boy only killed the people when he blasted them because it reminded them of his powers. From these 2 examples, both of them have compound V, but they get killed, and I think it's because of his PTSD that makes him more dangerous. I'm extremely confident in this, and it's shown in Herogasm is what makes his powers even more deadlier. So Butcher hurts Soldier Boy, in order to save Ryan, even though he was in no danger in the first place, since Homelander was blocking him and Ryan has powers, so he wouldn't even have died. Like, at most, his powers would have been just vaporized. If you don't think that will work, then move Ryan out of the way. Soldier Boy takes 10 years to power up his shit, so just relocate him. Not only that, but Soldier Boy gets gassed again, so in retaliation he powers up his beams once more. Maeve charges at him, and they both go flying out the window. Soldier Boy somehow gets knocked out from the fall, even though he can apparently withstand a lot of shit from Homelander, which is even worse than a measly little drop. So then what happens to Soldier Boy? Well, he gets put back in cryostasis, probably never to be seen again. Fan-fucking-tastic. Starlight also gains new powers, only for her to be doing more damage to herself than anything, so what the fuck was the point in introducing the powers if they weren't even necessary? Also, going back to the window point, Maeve got blasted mid-air, so how the fuck did the fall not kill her? Not only that, but somehow Maeve was able to hurt Homelander in a fight. Remember back in Herogasm when it literally took 3 people for it to be a fair fight against Homelander and they couldn't even make him bleed? They only bruised him? But no, Maeve can apparently hold her own in a fight against Homelander by her fucking self. How? I feel like they were trying to replicate the girls get it done scene from season 2, except in season 2 the whole season was based around girls getting it done, when in reality they were just being treated poorly and abused. Which is why the finale is so satisfying. Seeing a group of women curb stomp a Nazi is so satisfying after what they went through in season 2, in which it brings the narrative full circle. Here it feels incredibly inconsistent, since in reality Maeve shouldn't even be able to hurt Homelander. He is literally top of the food chain. The finale pretty much makes this season feel almost pointless. Soldier Boy was back to the way he was originally, the boys are back to almost the same spot where they were from the beginning of season 3, so what was even the point of this season? Weirdly, everything in this season finale feels so rushed too. It feels like this finale should have been split up into 2 episodes instead of 1, because all the plot lines getting resolved just feels so rushed, which is a fucking shame, and it really disappoints me. However, I didn't hate everything about this episode, so I'll talk about the things that I liked. I loved the ending for the episode. It really does feel like Homelander can now do whatever the fuck he wants, and the subtle smirk from Ryan is just so fucking spine-chilling, and it really shows the consequences for Butcher's actions this season. I like the contrast to season 2's ending, where Ryan came to Butcher in season 2, siding with him, and now he's coming to Homelander siding with him instead. I like the character moment between MM and Janine. It was very satisfying to see his arc this season resolved. I like the parts with Frenchie and Kimiko. I really like the chemistry those two have together, and their character development and arcs this season were very interesting, especially that dance scene that occurs in the hospital, which was just so heartwarming and absolutely just depressing once you look at it like in terms of the boys. And I really liked the maniac scene, such a fun and cute scene with lots of blood. I do like how they gave Frenchie his signature goggles from the comics, even though I don't care about comic shit. That part really did make me fanboy out a bit. Although I don't like how the little Nina subplot wasn't resolved. I guess they'll resolve it in season 4. But it would have been pretty satisfying to see the conclusion of this subplot this season. Those, of course, were the main things I liked about this episode. There are more things, but would be here all day if we were to talk about them all. Overall, The Boys Season 3 had so much more potential to be its best season yet, only for it to fall flat on its face by the very end. I wouldn't say that this season sucks because of the finale, but it definitely does majorly affect the score as a whole, and because of that, it went from being the best season to the weakest. And I'm pretty cautious for season 4, since for one it could be amazing, or it could be just as terrible as the finale was. And if you read my reviews for each episode on IMDb, I was really loving this season. I'm just really disappointed by what happened, so overall I'm going to give the finale for The Boys Season 3 a 4 out of 10, and I'm going to give The Boys Season 3 a 7 out of 10. It would have been a 9.5 out of 10, but the finale just kinda ruined it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video, and if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. I have a Twitter and a Letterboxd if you're interested in checking those out. I also have an IMDb if you want to see more in-depth reviews like these, and I have a Discord if you want to become a more active part of the community. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when I review either Miss Marvel or Stranger Things Season 4.